Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Backstage Bimbo TV. It's me, Allison Rouse, your most notorious groupie, growing more notorious every day, and author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of Notorious Groupie, me. Welcome back, everybody. Great to see you. I feel like I should do a romper stomper romper boo. I see Melody, I see Tara, I see Kara. It's great to see you guys. Just so great to meet everybody that I've been able to. Karen and just so many wonderful people that and Susie, and thank you so much for all the love and support you guys give me. It's so amazing to know that there are people still like that in the world. So thanks for all the awesome positivity. And today we're going to get positive with a little bit of country. We're stepping out of rock and roll. And even though it was my Vegas years, this all happens in Salt Lake City with none other than country Hollywood royalty, Tim McGraw and his band. You got it. And for that, we're going to do the Cowboy, which you guys, my shaker, my pretty little glass shaker just died. Like I came in here and I had the drink in the shaker and I set it down and I must have hit the desk wrong because it just cracked in half. My little, so R.I.P. to my shaker. We'll have another one soon. All right, guys. Kick up your cowboys. Let's have a rocky talkie, shall we? Cheers, big ears. All right, so this is when this picture was taken. This is on Tim McGraw's tour bus. I know the crack is still from the earthquake and stuff a couple years ago. But yeah, this is on the back lounge of Tim McGraw's tour bus. Me showing him the upside down tour bus trick. If you guys don't know what that is, go look at the John Sykes video. I'll put a link into it below because John Sykes and I invented that upside down tour bus trick. And you knew if I really, really liked you, you would get that. Not everybody did. But that was just sort of a demonstration. I didn't actually do it. So anyway, I was in town from Las Vegas just visiting family. It was the middle of the summer. I believe it was around my mom's birthday in May. And I want to say this was 99 because I remember wearing those pants backstage at the Rolling Stones. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so it had to be around 99. It was around May because it was around my mother's birthday. Danny and I, of course, as we do when I get into town, we went downtown and did the rounds. Which the rounds are, we would get off the freeway there and we would start with this Holiday Inn and go through all the hotels until we found the tour buses. Which is how we found back in the 80s, no internet or anything, and before everybody was calling us and really getting to know us. And if we didn't know the band, we still did that. So, like I said, being in town, I forgot to take a drink. Cheers, big ears. Grab your cowboys. Cheers, big ears. Oh. That is milk and fucking bourbon and shit. Oh, wow. Or cream, basically. So, whew. That's a strong one. Doesn't look it, but it is. So she's like, let's go do the rounds. I'm like, okay. So we jump in her car and we get off the freeway. And that first hotel we see, the Holiday Inn, which has been the scene of Megadeth, of Toby Keith, of James Lomenzo and White Lion, now is going to be the scene. Because we were like, oh, look, tour buses, screech. Pulled over. And like I said, there's a fun center inside with like the pool, the putt-putt, and all that stuff. And all the rooms have these glass windows, like walls that look over that. But these were on the outside. There were other hotel rooms on the outside, and the doors just opened up to the parking lot, like an old motel or something. So anyway, we see the tour buses screech on into that parking lot. And there's a bunch of, because these cowboys, they love pulling their chairs out of their hotel rooms and just sitting on the porch part and hanging out. And we saw the tour buses, and we get out of the car and we hear our mating call. Hey, ladies. That's the groupie mating call. Hey, ladies. So we go over and we're like, hello, boys. And who are you? And they're like, oh, I'm so-and-so. I'm Darren. I'm this guy. I'm Tim. I'm with Tim McGraw, which he was just really kind of rising into the music success that he had before he became the successful actor and stuff. And I don't believe he had met Faith yet. He might have known her. I don't know. But he had a couple hit songs out already. I had not personally heard them. So we were just like, cool, tour buses, we're over. It's just, yeah, you can't help it. It's like magnets for groupies. Just, we didn't have a choice. But we didn't want that choice either. So we hang out. They're like, hey, let's get you a drink. And, went on the bus, grabbed some cold beers, got us drinks. We just all started sitting down, hanging out, talking, yapping away. And they're like, well, we need to smoke some weed. Because I'm telling you, these cowboys, they love smoking weed. I've smoked hella more weed with like Toby Keith and these guys than I did with Cypress fucking Hill. I'm telling you, these guys got nothing on Cypress Hill. The only person that beats the country boys in their consumption of weed is probably Snoop Dogg. Probably. And Snoop actually introduced me to my dealer pre-legal days in Vegas. Hi, Rob Del Rey. But so anyway, they're like, well, let's smoke some weed, so we got to get on the bus, ladies. Okay. You ever been on a tour bus? We didn't really say anything. We just kind of giggled. Jumped on the tour bus. Had the same banter. I'm talking to Tim and stuff. And not like we were hooking up. Like, I didn't want to hook up with anybody. You can tell pretty much in the first couple hours or hour. And we had been out on the porch for about an hour and a half, just having beers, talking, drinking, enjoying the night. It was a beautiful spring day. So you can tell that if you have chemistry with someone. And if you look at this guy in the back, that's not Tim. This is, oh dear, oh no. Oh. Well, God, things. So this guy, where is he? There's this guy in the back. He was all trying to hit on me while trying to call another girl at the same time who he wasn't sure was going to show up. So he wanted to make me a backup. And Tim was telling me this, and I was like, what? I'm like, no, there's nothing attractive about this guy. He's totally schmarmy. And I'm like, besides, do I look like someone, like I should be someone's backup? And Tim was like, no, honey, you are nobody's backup. So we're sitting on getting stoned. And so Tim stops after we're smoking and stuff and hanging out and we're having more drinks and stuff and just enjoying the conversation. And he's like, so ladies, you never did answer us. Have you ever been on a tour bus before? Once or twice. This is 1999. I'm 14 years into this shit by this point. So is Danny. And so it had to be before 99. I don't know. Anyway, so we're all just hanging out, smoking the weed, and they ask us if we've been on the tour bus before. I'm like, I've got a trick to show you. And they're like, what? I'm like, see that escape hatch? I'm like, I'll bet you anybody $100 that I can hang upside down from it. No, you can't do that. That's impossible because they really only open up like this big, like probably about 6-7 inches. So 6-7 inches. I'm not good at this way, but this way. So it is actually kind of hard to flip up, and so I do the upside down tour bus trick, and as you can tell, everybody was in awe of the situation. He was like singing, and when Tim saw this picture after it was taken, he's like, how'd she get her hair to do that? So the guy in the background was like, Tim? Oh yeah, I remember when she did that. Yeah. He may be good looking, but he's not the brightest bulb in the Christmas tree, folks. But pretty boys don't have to be, do they? So anyway, we could do the upside down. There was applauses. People were singing. They were like, that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. They're like, well, what's the point of that? And I'm like, whispered into Tim McGraw's ear. He's like, oh. He's like, wouldn't you pass out after a few minutes? I'm like, just, yeah, that's all you get out of it is a few minutes. So anyway, they had plans. It was getting later in the night, and they had plans to go to this local Western bar, big Western bar that is still around to this day called the Westerner. So we all go, they're like, ladies, you should come with us. And we're like, fuck yeah, we'll go with you. So we all jump, tour bus driver comes out. We all cruise on the bus over, about 20 minutes away to this Western bar. And it wasn't very packed. And, we come in and everybody's like, holy shit. And they see the bus pull up and they're like, oh my God, it's Tim McGraw. And we were all out there dancing and boot scooting. And, of course, they had the mechanical bull. So I get on that mechanical bull because they're like, oh, yeah. They're like, oh, no, you're going to fall off. You're going to fall off. I'm like, no, dudes, trust me. Not only have I ridden a bunch of rock stars at this point, I'm a stripper that hangs upside down on a pole with no hands. Trust me, if I can hang on to something like this big around, I can hang on to something this big. So I get on that bull, and every single one of those cowboys fell off, but City Girl Stripper rode that bitch like I properly should. Without falling off. So they were, again, impressed with my riding skills. Yeah, there's been a couple rockers in the past that have been impressed with those too. I'm kidding. I'm really not egotistical. I'm just being sarcastic and facetious. So take my sense of humor as you do, not as my ego. So anyway, then, we're just hanging out some more. And Tim, everybody's up dancing and a slow song comes on. And Tim's like, we should dance to this. It's okay. Because we're kind of boot scooting and he grabs my hand. He's like, we should dance to this. I'm like, okay. So Tim and I are doing the two-step slow dancing. And it was that song, Just Don't Take the Girl. Just don't take the girl. Take Bobby's, whatever. Take Tommy Thompson. Take my best friend, Bo. And I was like, God, I love this song. And he's like, do you? I'm like, yeah, who sings it? Tim's like, I do. Oh. Well, I love your song, Tim. So that was kind of my oopsie into the evenings. Yeah. So I didn't know. I loved it. But at least, he knew I was just hanging out with him because he was, fun. That we were just there having a good time. We weren't just, oh my God, it's Tim McGraw. Because like I said, he was really well known, but this was kind of shooting him up into the fame part. I mean, at least in my eyes, because I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know I was dancing to his damn song with him. So, yeah, we hung out there for a little while longer. A bunch of people got pictures and stuff. We rode the bull some more. And I stayed on it time and time again. Because, we're a betting bunch out on the road. And there were bets to see, the more she drinks, I bet you she falls off. No, honey, the more I drink, the more I clench my legs to stay on top. Because anybody's had sex with Steve Jones when you're on top, yeah, you might as well, woohoo, cowboy. Woohoo, pistol. So, went back to the hotel. Danny stayed with his guitar player, who she dated for a lot of years after that. Not even kidding. Not even kidding. So, went back to the hotel. Danny stayed the night. I went home after a sweet kiss from Tim McGraw. And it was a nice, lingering, long, kind of sexy kiss, but we both kind of pulled back and were like, why do we feel like kissing cousins? It's bad, but, like naughty bad. Because the kiss was great. He's an amazing kisser. And, I kiss pretty good, I'm told. So, yeah, that was our night meeting Tim McGraw. Like I said, had no idea. Some of the times that we don't know, there's a band in town or something, these unplanned are some of the best rock and roll nights you will ever have. And that's why I always say, when you are going to hang out with a band, don't plan the night in your head. Just go to that hotel bar, have a drink, and see where that night takes you, because it's going to take you in a lot of awesome directions if you don't hang on to your preconceived notions. If things aren't going the way you think you want them to go in your head, you're just going to be frustrated and angry. So don't plan anything except for showing up to the hotel bar and which one you want to sleep with. But even the one you want to sleep with isn't always going to work out. But again, sometimes when you're not planning it are the best nights you're ever going to have. Because this was a blast. Like I said, everybody was just laughing, having a good time, being chill, smoking weed, dancing at the Westerner, riding bulls, kissing your face and going home type of night. It was awesome. And I was so glad to have met Tim McGraw because, we don't spend enough time in the country genre and it just proved that I have a great time with the country boys too. So There you guys go. Hope you had a giddy up and good time with the Tim McGraw story. Silly, stupid blonde me, because I'm naturally blonde. Oh, didn't even know it was his song. But that was, kind of sometimes makes things better. All right, guys. Thank you again for all the love and support and all the amazing people that I have got to meet. It is so great to make new friends through this channel. It's probably the best thing that's ever been done on this channel. All right, guys. Thank you again. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. And the 50% that are just haunting me, hit the subscribe. At least hit the like. You don't have to subscribe. Just hit that like. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the share. Tell your friends about me, just like the rockers did in the 80s. And don't forget to hit the bells so you know next week when I'm posting the next Cocktails and Rock Tales. See you then, guys. Cheers, big ears.